we are back. We were too hungry. We had to turn off the TV.
I just think
so we could eat some pure tonjes.
I think that subject was so hot, we just switched off the internet.
It turned off the computer for us, but don't worry.
Guys, give us some goodwill, you know. I know we were talking about you and ghosting, disappearing on your spouses, husbands, wives.
So you turned off the computer for us.
Children, okay. There's some children who ghost too. They just disappear on their parents.
Oh my gosh. But you know what? Now we let's talk about, you have ghosted. Maybe you traveled away from your parents, you came to Nairobi, you traveled away from your spouse. There are some of us who ghost all the way abroad. So no matter what situation finds you here, you know, nostalgia is like a big thing. You know, and sometimes we don't realize, you know, that the extent to which we are Kenyans until we actually leave the country and we are confronted with, you know, a lot of new things, new norms, new everything, and then you find yourself falling back to, by the way, Kweli, I'm Kenyan or I'm African, wherever you may be. I don't know if your experience is the same, but if it's different or whatever, let us know what you think about that. Yeah. So food is one of the ways that we reclaim our heritage, you know, being so far. I've been in the US for more than almost 10 years. So things like this are things that make you feel, you know, whole, you know, whereas at home you don't necessarily think, you know, eating this and this and this serves a particular purpose. You want to get full and move on to the next thing. But here there's a lot more, or I feel a lot more care and intention put on the type of food that we choose to eat. So, let me keep eating.
So, you know, this nostalgia thing can really make you homesick. I don't know why when we come to the US, you start missing home more than ever before. Even the people you didn't really talk to, suddenly you really miss them. You miss them a lot. You miss your cousins. You miss your friends. I guess it's that warmth, you know, that idea that I can just walk over to your house and visit. I don't know if this still happens in Nairobi or in Kisumu or in Nakuru or in Naivasha or in Mombasa, that you can just walk over like, oh, I've just come to visit and you're welcome, you know. Here it's a little kind of strict. Like you need to tell somebody, you know, that you'll be visiting them. You can't just call. You also can't just call anytime because you'll be stealing their space. You'll be stealing their time, you know. But what I like about nostalgia is the food bit. When I eat this kind of food, when I see boiled maize and I see cassava, is this called the yam?
No, we call it cassava. Yeah.
What is it called here?
I don't know.
When I see ndoma, and I see all this stuff, it comforts me. It comforts me, like, you know, I know where I come from. This is a part of me. Although there's so much hamburger, cheeseburger, and all this steak, you know, I can even have chicken for breakfast here. But this is really good, you know. So when you come to America, you really don't have to eat all that rich. There's a lot of rich food here. You don't have to starve either, because you're not used to the food. There are different stores that have all this food. When you go to the Indian store, can you show them show our friends?
Like we're starting with the ugali.
We start with the ugali. Yeah, we start with the ugali. When you go to any Indian store in the US, they bring unga. They bring unga and they call it ugalileo.
It's called ugalileo.
It's called ugalileo, white cornmeal. And it goes for $6.99. That's $7. How much is Kenyan money? 700 Kenya shillings. But that's well, we won't be fair if we compare that, because the
rate. We don't want to eat ugali anymore.
Yeah, that's more like 700 Kenya shillings is a lot of money.
Maybe you can get to, I don't know. Maybe you convert for us.
Those who are near. How much is a 2 kilogram? This is
how much is a 2 kilogram of unga?
Yeah. So also those in Philadelphia, you can get this at 69th Street on H-Mart. It goes by another name, but just ask for white cornmeal. If you go to the corner stores, you might get something close, but not the real ugali texture, but it is still cornmeal. I think it's Mexican.
It's like really, really soft.
It's soft.
You have to really be careful when you're cooking it.
It's Diego. It's what's Diego in English?
I don't know.
It's stickery. It's kind of sticks. Yeah. So,
and this is wimbi.
Yeah,
millet flour.
That's what we are having. That's the porridge we are having this morning. And they have tea bags. They have ketepa tea.
So you can have ketepa tea bags at which stores? I know they're not in all of them.
If you go to between 52nd and 69th Street, Woodland area, you'll get this. Some shops in Westfield have it as well. And there's tea masala, which I'm going to sprinkle a little in my tea.
Did you get that here or did you get it from?
Yeah, I got this from an Indian store down 69th Street.
And that's not saying like online stores are also big. There are a few that are purchased from. Sometimes they can be expensive, but sometimes it's the price. Sometimes we are willing to pay the price of it so we can eat. Do you know of any good online stores you can share with us?
Yeah, members of the Diaspora, please type for us if you can. Let's share this information as we're live. Let others know where you bought your unga, where you bought your. So the interesting where you bought your cassava, where you buy your dough, where you buy your boiled maize. You can get this at your 9th Street at the Italian market.
I know we're talking about porridge here, like we're not drinking it.
Yeah, we're not drinking. You're not drinking your porridge with a spoon. Do we drink porridge with a spoon?
Who drinks porridge with spoons? Let's see.
Porridge with it. You just drink with your mouth.
If
like
it's
that.
too hot, you can't drink it.
I'm saying that this ugali is this porridge is paragash, so that's Russian. This ugali is beer. That's a little French, eh? This
hi Donnie. Thanks for joining us.
Hi Donnie. And there's someone else who was. We didn't say hello to. Oh Lord, we're too involved in our own world.
We're too busy drinking breakfast.
Grace, is this mixture really good on my stomach problems? I have mandazi, I have ugali, I have boiled maize. I'm glad I'm not traveling. I have omena. I have. You leave the boiled eggs. I have problems with eggs. I didn't take my lactate yet. Yeah. So.
I'm looking at the comments.
So as we were talking about nostalgia, what really do you miss? What do you miss about home?
Let me make sure our friends get this.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah. What do you miss? What do you miss? Okay, you look at the comments. What do you miss so much about home? Like you've been here 10 years. What do you miss?
The sun.
Oh.
And you probably think, no. But the way the sun hits you in Kenya is different from any other sun you'll experience. Maybe if you go to other countries in Africa, but the way when you land in the airport and then you feel the air and then you feel the sun beating down your skin, you just feel like, even though we have entered, we've entered Kenya, you feel like you are home. You feel like it's your land calling to you. So from the beginning, that's the one thing that I miss, especially if I have not been home in a while.
Let me tell you an interesting story. It's interesting to me. When I came first to the US, when I landed at the airport, I was shocked. There was no sun. The leaves had no trees.
Oh, what season did you come? What season did you come?
It was in February, mid-February. I thought that someone had burnt all the trees. And I was asking the people who picked me, like, have these people been arrested? Because no single tree had leaves. That shocked me. The other thing that shocked me was that there were no animals. There were no insects. There was nothing.
It's very like
only
lammy.
Thousands of dogs. Hundreds and thousands of dogs.
Where did you see these dogs? Where?
They were outside people's doors. Some were playing in the snow. But I miss the Kenyan seasons. I miss the rainy season. Short rains, long rains.
I remember coming here in August and it's 7 p.m. and the sun is shining like that 4 o'clock sun. And I'm like, which part of the world did these people take me to? Why is the sun not setting? It's 7:30, it's 8. I'm like, this is just going to kill me.
Yeah.
It was so scary. It was so scary. It was so scary. I can't take that image out of my head.
Yeah, but they say this sun is dangerous. I don't know if it's, at home they don't tell us to put on goggles or decks, as young people call it. They don't ask us to put on a hat and to cover ourselves. But here they advise you not to walk in the sun because, I don't know, it doesn't have some layer. Yeah, so you
thank you, Donnie. We'll turn on the volume.
Yeah.
We are hearing you.
Oh, sorry about that. We are talking about what we miss so much in Kenya, the nostalgic memories, and one of them is the sun. The sun in Kenya is beautiful.
So, Donnie, we hear you. We hear you. We're hearing you say that it's all carbohydrates. Okay. We hear you. We get your point. But let me tell you
something. What about the eggs?
Let me tell you something. When you're waking up to go for breakfast to eat, what's the first thing you eat? Chai na mkate, na mayai. right? Those are carbohydrates. Kwanza bread. If you eat 3 slices or 4 slices of bread plus blueband, that's when you're really taking yourself there. You know, as at least you're putting mandazi.
Yeah,
So
mandazi has eggs and milk.
It has eggs, it has coconut milk. So even if you're eating carbohydrates, you realize, by the way, I'm taking one thing for the other. And then sometimes, see what mjengo, you know, it's like for me, I'm a person who came from Eastlands, right? So as we know, we're drinking that tea, we are going to walk for 30 minutes or even an hour. So we know we're going to struggle. So the thing that you want there is carbs. But now we're having the pleasure of diversifying and eating more traditional, not just chai and mkate.
So we have eggs and we have but let's listen to Donnie.
And
Donnie, can you suggest for us what you would like added to this African breakfast? Because I was gonna bring some chicken, but Grace was like, "Are you gonna have chicken for breakfast?"
But some people have a full meal for breakfast.
So
you know?
You can suggest to us on next Saturday we have a full balanced meal. Grace, we forgot our fruits.
Oh,
yeah.
What fruits do you have there?
We have grapes, we have berries, we have so I was that's one of the things we miss. We miss the foods. We really miss the foods. That's one thing we miss about home. I miss home in a certain way in terms of funerals, since I can't travel home right now. I've not attended any funerals of my family members. And my friends, I just see them on Facebook. I just see that they passed. So I've not had closure. And a lot of us in the US here don't have closure. Because when you really don't go home and see the body and touch it and join the family in mourning, there's something that you miss. And it causes a lot of stress. It causes a lot of emotional turmoil that you cannot go home and bury your loved ones. And sometimes we don't have transport.
Yeah, I can definitely speak to that.
Do you want to talk about that while I run to get the fruits?
Yeah, of course, definitely.
Talk about the closure.
So first of all, it's very, very hot in Philadelphia, so please excuse the usafi. But talking about the concept of like nostalgia and also loneliness, you know, I had a few deaths in the family in the past 2 years that happened back to back, and I wasn't able to go home. And they don't really talk to you about what that separation looks like if you're away from your family and you go through something that really needs you to be there with your family to grieve together. It just causes this type of separation that you can feel with you wherever you go. So it was really important for me to have that opportunity to not only, you know, see that, to have closure, when nyumbani, going home to the village, seeing the resting places and have that closure, and also have that moment to grieve with family. It's something that is a privilege to a lot of us who are living in the diaspora, because not all of us are able to do it, whether it's money, whether it's our status, whether it's work, because sometimes family work will not allow you to go, even if you have the money, it will not allow you to go because of one thing or the other. So these things that we take for granted when we're within our country that we really get to miss when we're away.
Yeah, so the other thing we miss is, I brought the fruits here. The other thing we miss so much is just being accepted for who you are and not being told all the time that you have an accent. You know, before I came here, I didn't know that I had an accent. I thought I spoke very good English.
Me too.
And I thought everybody could understand me. And Grace, tell me how do you pronounce water?
So,
because that gave me a big problem. I had to change how I speak some words for people to understand. I felt I'm not being real. Every time I try to talk like someone, like an American, I just feel fake. You know, I want to be me. I miss that about home. You know, I can talk just the way I'm talking now. Someone will say, "What?" Will not ask me to repeat something like 100 times.
You even start doubting yourself. You're like, is it? What is it?
Yeah.
You know.
So tell me about water. I still say water.
So you can say water, and we were talking about this, but there's a concept of code switching. Sometimes you just have to switch it, because if you don't switch your code, you keep being asked, what did you say? What did you say?
So did they say water?
In Philadelphia, they say water.
What?
Umesikia water.
Oh, Grace, you're more.
I'm just
so teach me, because I've tried. If I have to say water, like I can't breathe. Teach me.
I can't teach you, because I had to sit and it just like osmotically.
You don't want to teach me.
It just osmotically got there. Don't even try. It will come out.
So when I say water.
So you can say water.
That's like water, like
me water. My father.
So
now you know that.
Imagine going to Kenya and telling people, pass me some water.
But you know,
that's pride.
No, but let's be real. There's some Kenyans out here who have accents like they didn't even. You're wondering, this person went to. How long has this person been in the US?
Welcome to
Let me ask you, if you go over, I know I had someone on the internet say, you know, these people that fly and go to India and back, why don't they have Indian accents? But there's some people who travel to these other countries. They come in like,
is it the Pilipili in India that makes them not change their accent?
Even me, I get shocked. Like, oh, this person.
This accent changed on the plane, yeah?
You're even surprised that other person.
You know, if I started talking like that, I would just start laughing. I'd start laughing at myself. Like, hey man.
But you end
up doing, man.
Listen, this country will make you do
funny things. But I guess let's not judge, because there are instances when for other people to understand you and you want to move up the ladder, you have to talk like them. They say when you're in Rome, do like the Romans do. I'm going to interrupt you, Grace. I know you want to drink your tea, but the other thing I miss about home are those, remember those songs we used to sing when we were kids? Do you know what Mama Wawili? Can you remember?
Let's see. Oh my gosh. Can you see?
Wa mama wawili walikwenda sokoni. I miss kununua tumbako na tumbako hawakulipata watamkumulala.
And then it goes.
I miss seeing the children. I miss seeing our children play out there. You know, innocence. No computers, no internet. Here, children play PlayStations. You can't punish kids.
You can't bond with people over silly games like that from a childhood
because they never silly down here. Everything is so serious. Working 3 jobs. You know. No, I miss that. I miss the creativity. I miss the natural, the authenticity that we have. Yeah.
So we have some fruits here.
Yeah.
Grapes.
This food of yours, are you really eating it?
This food of mine, have you seen me attacking it? Attacking it. You're the one.
I want to eat the maize, but my teeth are going to show white, whatever. And I'm also worried that this mixture.
Your manner.
Yeah. So the other news that really, I remember now, the other news that affected me this week was like when Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle.
Oh, she's Markle, not Sparkles. So Meghan Markle's the lady who married the prince, yeah? Can you believe that she cannot sleep before the queen sleeps? So when in the palace there, the queen has to go to sleep before anybody in that house sleeps.
That mother-in-law has decided.
That mother-in-law,
That woman has decided.
That mother-in-law, you cannot go to sleep in that home before the mother-in-law sleeps.
But I was saying,
have you heard about a mother who sleeps before the children sleep?
But there's so many things that we do culturally around marriage. That's just hearing this mother-in-law is just putting this rough law.
Yeah.
How many things are
and then she's almost 90, and you know when you reach that age, you really can't sleep much. So you're waiting. You are newly married. You've just come from your honeymoon. You want to go to bed, but you have to wait for your mother-in-law. To sleep fast. So that is the
really
rule.
Adamant about this topic.
Oh, this thing is not good. We were blaming the men for ghosting, but we are also blaming mothers-in-law or mothers. How can you go to imagine going to sleep and